Howdy ho, neighbors, boys and girls, ladies and gents. Welcome to this latest episode of Movies Merica. Spoiler warning. And in this episode, we are going in the Wayback Machine, way back, 30 years to the ancient times of 1995, as we talk about Seven with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman. Okay, so, and I was just a wee lad, well, maybe not that wee, but a wee lad nonetheless, going to see Seven in the theaters way back in the day. But yeah, this show is your chance to talk in depth about this classic murder mystery thriller. Okay, that even though it is 30 years old, it's still compelling as hell. It still shocks and amazes people that have never seen it before. I saw that firsthand a little under a week ago there, and but we're going to talk more about that coming up here real quick. But first, let me give you something to dance to.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies Merica.
All right, everybody, happy Thursday. It's almost the weekend. It's pre-Friday. It's Thirsty Thursday. So, yeah, grab yourself a brewski or a cocktail or wine, or, you know, maybe you're just, hey, maybe you're a teetotaler and you don't even drink booze, all right? But, hey, that's all good. Hey, just, you know, grab your Sprite or whatever you're drinking there, your OJ, and join me for this 7 edition of Movies Merica. Spoiler warning. And as the title of the show implies, yes, we will get very spoilery, which I feel a little funny saying that about a movie that's 30 years old. But there are people that have not seen Seven because I witnessed that firsthand. A little under a week ago, I went and saw Seven in IMAX. So because they brought Seven back to show it in IMAX for one day only, and that was last Friday, and saw it there in IMAX, and some dudes that were sitting in the row right in front of me, they clearly had not seen Seven before, because they were like sitting, you know, leaning forward, and they were reacting to scenes like I reacted to scenes 30 years ago when I first saw this. You know, I mean, one scene I'm sure we could all think of that they would have reacted to at least, because there was more than one. But when they go and they find, was it Sloth? Yeah, Sloth, where they go in there is like the drug dealer, and he's all basically, he's basically been starved and whatnot, and he's skin and bones and all that stuff, and they think he's dead. And then all of a sudden, you know, like John C. McGinley leans over and said, "You got what you deserved." And all of a sudden the guy like wakes up. He's like coughing and shit, and everyone thought he was dead, and it just freaked out these guys in the row right in front of me. They're like, "Holy shit, what the hell? The guy's alive? Oh my God!" You know, and it didn't shock me because obviously I've seen this movie 100 times, but they clearly had not seen it. And so because there are, you know, people out there that have not seen Seven, that's why I want to warn people that, yeah, this is very spoiler heavy. Now, if you want to see my show about Seven that is spoiler free, check out my show I did last Sunday there. That's my spoiler free review of Seven there for all the Seven, the virgins to Seven territory. Okay, so the ones that have not had their Seven cherry popped for a not so classy way of putting it right there. But real quick, I want to welcome my movie maniacs and my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics. You know who you are, and you guys can get in the live chat on YouTube and Rumble and talk all about Seven, but everybody else can too. You don't have to, you can be a newbie here, and you can talk to me about Seven. You can talk to me about any Brad Pitt or Morgan Freeman movie, or hell, any movie you want to talk to me, or hell, talk to me about any subject that you want right there. Now, if it's a subject that I know nothing about, well, don't be surprised if all you hear from me is crickets. Okay, there you go. And then maybe you might
fuck you.
You know, but hey, you know what? Hey, you're entitled to your own free expression. It's all good right there. Okay, so all right, with that going on, let's get into some Seven right here. What do you say? And so Brad Pitt. Okay, we all know who Brad Pitt is right now. How can you not know who Brad Pitt is? I mean, just he's synonymous, right? You know, he's ubiquitous. Okay, so yes, I do own a thesaurus. I know. Gotcha. And but yeah, Brad Pitt was in this movie the year after he had quite the year in 1994. Okay, because Seven came out in 1995, obviously, and I can do math. 1994 is the year before, right? And the guy from Springfield, Missouri, Brad Pitt, he had quite the year in 94. He was in Legends of the Fall. He was in Interview with the Vampire. But him being in those movies, even with those movies out there, you know, he was in, California, and he played Floyd, the roommate in True Romance, and he had been, had that little bit part in Thelma and Louise, and, he'd been in, a little movie or show here or there and that kind of thing. But he had never been the headliner of a movie, okay? He had never been the guy, the man headlining a movie. And so Seven was really his first movie where he is the guy, okay? And lucky for him, it was a good one from David Fincher. And Fincher Fincher had only directed one movie, like one feature before this. And as any cinephile knows, the one movie that David Fincher had directed before Seven was the bottom of the barrel Alien movie, Alien 3, okay? And now David Fincher will say, like a lot of directors will say, when their movie fails at the box office or just isn't received very well, kind of like David Ayer with Suicide Squad. Okay, Suicide Squad, it's panned because it is a dog shit movie. Okay, I'm not talking about the Suicide Squad, the Suicide Squad from James Gunn. That's a spectacular movie. That's a fantastic movie. That's an action-packed, funny movie, okay? Suicide Squad without the, okay, that is dog shit, okay? So that is the equivalent of cinematic government cheese. It's just nothing, all right? It's meh, okay? But David Ayer, the director of Suicide Squad, he agrees with the theatrical version, in the fact that it sucks ass, okay? But he says, hey, there's an Ayer cut out there, okay? And so the same thing with David Fincher and Alien 3. Alien 3 is looked at as, the three-eyed, one-legged, ugly sister, out of a bunch of, hottie smoke show sisters, right? It's the freakazoid sister, right? And of all the Alien movies. And so, but David Fincher says, like, well, the cut that came out in the theaters, that's not the cut I wanted. There was a bunch of studio interference, and now the version that I wanted, it would have been, at least better. Okay, maybe it wasn't going to win, Best Picture at the Academy Awards or anything like that, but it would have been better than the dumpster fire that came out in the theaters for Alien 3 right there. So, but hey, the movie Alien 3, it is what it is, okay? What was released, and his name is, he's the director. Okay, his name is on the movie, and the buck stops with him right there. Okay, so Brad Pitt's forward career momentum, really, when you think back on it right there, because it's probably wasn't thinking about it that much, right when it happened back in 95, 94, 95 and whatnot. But if you think back to it, Brad Pitt's career could have gone very, very different, okay? Because Seven launched him into the stratosphere. Right? I mean, Brad Pitt might have gone the way of, like, William Peterson. Remember William Peterson from the 80s, who was in To Live and Die in L.A. and Manhunter, and neither of those movies were a hit, okay? And so he's an actor, William Peterson, he's an actor in the 80s who I thought he deserved to take off and go through the stratosphere, right? But he didn't because his movies weren't hits. Okay. Even though like To Live and Die in L.A. was directed by William Friedkin, the guy that gave us, The Exorcist and The French Connection and what's the other one? The Cruising and what's the other one? The Sorcerer and all these movies right there, all these classic movies. He was also in Manhunter, directed by Michael Mann, who of course gave us Miami Vice and Thief and Heat and Collateral and The Insider and Last Mohicans. So William Peterson, he was in good director hands, but the movies that he was in were just flops, and so his career went nowhere. But not the case with Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt, he caught David Fincher on a good day, okay? And Seven was a very, very, very good day for David Fincher and Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman, because Seven definitely didn't go.
Crash and burn, huh, Mav?
Not at all. So it was a massive hit. It became a classic, not a cult classic. This was a bona fide classic there. So all that to say is Brad Pitt's forward career momentum after Legends of the Fall and after Interview with the Vampire and Seven being his first movie where he's the guy, he's the man. His career momentum at this point was in the hands of an unproven, at the time, director. Okay. Now, of course, we know David Fincher is very proven. Okay. Because, he went on to do The Game and Fight Club and, Social Network, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and all these great movies. Zodiac, fantastic movies. Panic Room, another one there. So he's been kind of slipped on a banana peel here lately, because I don't know if you saw that movie, The Killer, that he did for Netflix with Michael Fassbender. Yeah. That movie is an amnesiac, or it's an amnesiac. Let's try that again. That will cure your sleeplessness right there. Okay, so you will not need any Nitol. Just fire up The Killer from David Fincher on Netflix, and that'll put you right to sleep. You will go right to dreamland there. That is for sure. So, and you can take that to the bank right there. Okay, so all right, let me take a little drinky right here. And now, hey, that's your reminder. Hey, grab a drink yourself. Oh yeah, good stuff. All right, and let me do this here. Let me switch things up just a little bit. Okay, just a little bit to keep things spicy. All right, and the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to tell you all about tdpn.locals.com there, as you see me clumsily point up at the top. tdpn.locals.com. And what I'm referring you to is our Till Death Podcast Network website, okay? And, of course, I'm sure, inquiring minds want to know what that is. Well, I shall tell you, okay? So that is our website where we have all kinds of great content like videos and blogs and articles, all about things like movies, entertainment, cocktail recipes, politics, hot button sizzling topics of the day that everybody is talking about. Okay, so if you don't want to be like the one dumbass in the group that has no idea what anybody's talking about as they talk about the hot button topic of the day, well, do yourself a solid and go to tdpn.locals.com and brush up on the hot button topics of the day. So you don't sound like the clueless one in the clique, okay? And as you see right now, if you put in promo code TDPN right there, you get 1 month free membership to the website. That means you get full access, carte blanche. You are a VIP, all right? You get to sit up in the VIP lounge up there, getting bottle service from the honeys, okay? And, you get to look at everybody else, with disdain. You to look down in your nose at them and go, you're not one of the VIPs of tdpn.locals.com. I am. You're not, though. So you get to be that guy. Okay, there you go. So, or you could just, be happy for yourself that you're in the VIP lounge and not rub it into anybody else. But where's the fun in that? Come on, all right? And so after that 1 month free membership, though, it's only a measly $3, okay, minimum to keep your VIP bottle service VIP lounge access right there. Okay, so that is nothing. Anybody would be happy to have that right there. So get in there and do that. Go to tdpn.locals.com now. Okay, get it done. And real quick, let me do this here. Let me ask you to hit that like button down there, right? Just drop kick that like button. Just sink your face into that. It made no sense right there. So I was trying to do a tie-in to Seven, like sink your face into the like button, like that fat guy's face was buried in the bowl of spaghetti or ravioli, whatever it was. But that makes no sense. I don't want you, and I'm sure you don't want to press your face up to your screen. It's weird, or the screen of your phone. Very weird. How about this? I'll make it up. How about you just put your finger on the like button there, or use the mouse on the like button there, okay? And hit the like button there if you would on this episode right there. Hey, and if you're feeling industrious, all right, if you want to go above and beyond, feel free to visit, my Movies Merica page on Rumble and YouTube, okay? Look for me on YouTube. Just search Movies Merica in the search window in YouTube and just go like crazy, okay? Just go in there and just start hitting the like button on all my old episodes right there, okay, until, you're sitting there and you're doing it so much and you're like, I gotta go take them. Because you've been doing it for so long there, okay? So go ahead and hit the like on all my past episodes, but start with this episode right here, if you would there, all right? Good sir and good madams right there, okay? And then also hit the follow or subscribe button also down there as well, if you haven't already. And then also hit the notification bell down there so that you hear ding, 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 whenever there's a brand new, piping hot, fresh episode coming out of the oven of Movies Merica for you. Okay. And then if you happen to not be watching this live, if you're watching the recording of this, say you're watching this, like 9 years from now. Well, first off, how you doing? Thanks for watching. Appreciate you viewing here and helping me. I appreciate that. And you can still, open up the lines of communication between yours truly and you right there. And that's what the comment section is for down below. So get in the comment section and, if all you want to do is put down there, you just want to put hi or hello or what's up. Okay. You can definitely do that. Or, you want to put you want to write the whole New Testament down there. Hey, who am I to stop you? Okay. So there might be a character limit to the comments, but if you want to test it out, by all means, I can't promise I'm going to read every single thing. All right. I might make it through Mark, Luke, and John, and maybe Romans, but I'm not reading the whole New Testament that you write down there. Okay. There you go. All right. But it's much appreciated there. All right. So let's talk some more Seven right here. That's what we're here for. And the ending of Seven. Okay. The famous ending. I mean, it's all-time famous, of course. So, they go out and John Doe wants to lead them to the bodies, to the two bodies and that kind of thing. They make the deal where John Doe said that he will sign a full confession if Somerset and Mills drive him out to where, he's telling him that he's buried these bodies right there. Of course, we all know it's a ruse. If you've seen the movie before. Okay, so, but the ending, all that being said, the ending is famous, all-time famous. It's up there with famous movie endings, like Basic Instinct, The Usual Suspects, another Kevin Spacey movie, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, E.T., famous endings of movies right there. And I'll be honest with you, to me, the ending of Seven is a paradox. Okay, it's contradictory. On the one hand, you don't want Mills to kill John Doe because you don't want John Doe. You don't want him to win. Fuck that guy. I don't want John Doe to win. Like, what the hell? The guy's jacked up. I mean, I don't want him to win. I don't want him, to basically, carry the trophy and, claim victory and all that. Hell no, forget that. I don't want him to realize his whole 7 deadly sins plan and all that stuff. Come on. You're just encouraging copycats if you allow that to go down right there, okay? So yeah, I don't want Mills to kill John Doe because you don't want John Doe to win, and then Mills goes to prison. I don't want that. Now, on the other hand, you're furious that John Doe killed Tracy, and you want the satisfaction of Mills blasting this asshole into the next world, right, with every round in his gun there. So you want that because you met Tracy earlier in the movie, nice girl, nice lady. She cooked Somerset and Mills dinner and all that stuff, and she's nice and kind, and Somerset met her at the cafe and they're talking. She says that she told him she's pregnant and that kind of thing, and nice lady, right? And then all of a sudden her head's in a box, right? What's in the box? Bad news there, Mills. Your wife's head is in a box right there. Okay, so yeah, you want Mills blasting this asshole with every round in his gun, right? Okay, so that's the paradox, right? It's contradictory. You're like, Mills, don't shoot him. And then you're like, but Mills, no, definitely shoot him. Shoot him, Mills, kill him, that kind of thing. So it's just contradictory. You don't know right there. Now, I did find a video here that I think you guys should see here. And I think the people in this video also might be a smidge conflicted. At the very least, the ending has their strict attention right there. And real quick, before we get into the video, I want to get my man's comment up here. Lindy Rig 87, welcome to the show. Appreciate you joining us here. And wait, he killed Tracy? I thought he did something worse, like told people about Fight Club. Exactly. That's the true travesty from John Doe. He didn't remember the first rule of Fight Club right there. Okay, you do not talk about Fight Club there. Okay, so he's kicked out of Project Mayhem. That is for certain. So we can't have that right there. But yeah, I know I was just as shocked there. So, but hey, never forgive him. There you go. So, but check out this video right here. It's a video of some people watching the ending of Seven, and you can tell that most, if not all, of these people have never seen the ending of Seven. And just check this out right here.
Pressure.
Maybe there's nobody in there.
Don't do that.
Oh my God. There's nobody in there.
Shoot her.
There's nobody in there. Stop.
Oh, he stopped. Get out of the van!
Who is it?
This is really dangerous.
It's a bomb.
It's a delivery, isn't it?
Okay.
I thought it was maybe,
I hope not.
just some random guy. He's here.
We don't even know what's in there.
It's a freaking delivery.
Oh
What
no,
if
it's
he
a
delivered
freaking bomb.
himself?
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
He mentioned you leaked with 5 people.
The wife?
Yeah,
We'll show
two.
2 more.
Two glass bodies. Uh-huh. Somerset.
I really
can't
do this.
What's going on, man?
I am stressed because
Don't tell me he killed the part.
Package all the way here.
Oh my gosh.
Bring it out here, man. Said he wanted to
Yeah,
hear
this
exactly
guy.
7 o'clock.
Oh, he was
Put
late.
it down.
Yep.
Like he convinced the wife.
I don't know why I'm feeling.
And
You
maybe
gotta
that
get
might be
some
worse.
outside.
I don't know. I don't freaking know shit.
No.
Face the van.
Ordered by John.
This is gonna end so horribly. I hate it.
Two sins though. How would it? It's an explosive, isn't it?
Turn around.
No, I want to solve this for myself, kind of. I could probably do it if I had more time, but I want to pay attention.
We're letting him drive away. Oh no, he's got
I'm sending the driver out on foot.
I don't know why I feel this.
Jesus.
Now, I realize that it might be annoying for some people, like hearing them all talk over the scene and that kind of thing and whatnot. So, and I know when I first played this, like, oh God, will you guys just shut up, but I think that's the point of this video right here is you want to hear everyone like their thoughts, audibly hearing their thoughts and whatnot. But the fact that you've got a bunch of people doing it at the same time, talking over each other. But if you really concentrate on what they're saying, it does make it a little bit more interesting as the scene goes along.
He's like, what the fuck is happening?
So
This is
excited.
my
You're not a bomb guy.
It's gonna be.
I feel so sick to myself.
Don't touch it.
Gonna be the last
I need a boss envy.
Just
got a back deal.
No, you're not.
Open it, bro.
We need a team to do this.
And wants to.
Somerset
And
is
that's
going.
what he's doing.
Oh my
They did the last two murders.
Oh
my god.
Oh, that's pretty obvious. It's gonna be a body.
Why would you open it?
Fragile too.
That would count as two.
Why?
What is it? What I think it is?
Fuck no, please, no.
Oh no, if there's blood, oh no.
What's
Oh
in
no,
it?
tell me it's not Tracy.
Is it going to be? Oh my god, I'm so scared. What's in it? What's in it?
Oh please no.
Oh my god, no.
I'm so scared.
Oh please no.
No. What the fuck is it?
A dog.
No, it's maybe.
Is it a head?
It's not a bomb.
It's going to be her, isn't it? It's not his wife or something, is it? Oh
It is, right?
my god, oh my god, what is it? What is it?
It's gonna be messed up.
Has
Oh
to be.
please no.
Oh yeah, I bet you it is.
He's gonna, you can't tell her.
What are you doing? Tell me.
You show us.
Oh my god, he's here, you know,
Stay
in your
away
head.
from me. Stay away from me now. Don't come in here.
Holy crap.
Whatever you hear, stay away.
Stay away.
Whatever you
John
hear.
Doe has the upper hand.
What is it, Bo?
What?
I feel like
What is it?
What is it?
I wish I could have lived like you did.
What are you talking about?
John
Get
Doe's
away.
upper
He wants
hand.
to get Mills to kill him, doesn't he?
Throw the gun away.
Oh no.
Tell you how much I admire you.
Oh my god!
When he kills his
Don't.
Oh no.
Oh!
Was it her head?
Don't.
He killed his wife. He killed his wife.
He did something to himself. I think he wants to blow up. He wants to get him away from it.
No. Oh my god.
Put your, throw your gun down.
He's gonna shoot him. He doesn't even know it's in the box. If he knows it's in the box, he's killing John.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, throw the gun down.
It was
Why?
fucking
Because he will shoot him. Yeah.
Did he kill his wife?
Throw it away.
He's gonna
So
shoot him.
he's envy.
Yeah.
Listen to him.
Somerset knows he'll kill him, so he's telling him to throw it away.
Her pretty head.
Oh my god.
Oh, I think I do know the quote.
Now, pay particular attention to these two right here. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but if you look over at the very far right, the woman there in the white headphones there, and then the woman right behind or right below her there, they provide a very expressive emotional reactions and that kind of thing. This scene is really, really hitting them.
Oh, no.
He's gonna kill him. He's gonna try and kill him. He's gonna try and kill him.
Who's in the box?
He's gonna die.
Someone recognizing like, oh, that's where that saying is that I keep hearing people say throughout my life, and I never knew what it was from. What's in the box? What's in the box? Now, some of the dudes here watching right now, they're having that epiphany right now, and they're realizing, oh, this is the movie that's from. Okay.
He's
gonna kill him and then kill himself.
He's the final sin. Don't do that. That's
What do
the
you want? He wants you to shoot him.
No!
He's just saying he wants you to shoot him because
He's gonna kill me. That's not true. That's not true. Become vengeance. Ah, still right.
He wants
He's
him.
gonna do it and then he's gonna see the body and he's gonna kill
Wrath.
himself.
He becomes wrath and he becomes envy, and they both lose their lives.
For her life. Shut up.
Don't.
He's the last guy.
He doesn't know about the baby.
He didn't know. He didn't know.
Baby. Oh my god. I know.
It's gonna.
You just learned it.
She never told him.
He never had the same way it haunts
Can't kill him. We'd smack the shit
Do
out
it,
of him.
David.
He wants you to
I
do
don't
it.
know.
That's exactly what he wants.
I don't know
David.
if I would have the strength
You
not to do
didn't
it.
know.
He still didn't know.
He didn't know.
I don't want
Oh
him.
my god, dude.
He doesn't kill himself.
Don't do it.
Dude, I feel so bad.
No, don't.
What are you gonna do in this fucking scenario?
Oh, don't be wrapped.
Oh,
You're not
shit.
wrapped.
I don't blame for
Dude,
no.
I feel
wants
so
to,
fucking
but
bad.
don't
Do it. I want
No.
to. Who
Don't
fucking
do
cares
it.
on?
Don't do it. Don't do it. Please don't do it.
Oh my god.
Oh man. Oh no.
He wins.
He will win.
That's
Yes.
If you don't,
do it.
it'll
That's
drive him
exactly what
nuts
he
the
wants.
rest of his life.
Honestly, prison is probably worse.
Oh, God!
Don't.
But yeah, you don't want to win.
Please don't. Think about it, honey. Think about it. Please don't.
Don't do it.
Please don't. Please don't.
So confused.
Holy shit, he did it! He did it! Jesus Christ, you did exactly what he wanted you to do.
He doesn't look like Connie.
Can you
Well, you're gonna go to jail. He's
Didn't even see his
Now
wife.
you're also going to jail.
Trying to see what you guys meant about me.
You did exactly what he wanted. Sweetheart. Oh, honey.
If he saw his wife's head,
He knew he was going to die in the box. Carried out. He wasn't mentally prepared for this.
Please don't look at the
then I would
box.
understand. Then I would understand. But
They
it's,
built it
that's
up
all.
too much, you know?
He killed him based off
That's
what
when
he
I
was
started
saying.
thinking
He
it's gotta be
doesn't know for
personal to
sure.
them somehow.
Man, I didn't put
No,
the
you
pieces together
have.
until the last
He was
one.
telling the truth or not.
You didn't do anything.
Yes, basically more Somerset reacted.
I can't say I'm surprised because like
Yeah.
So she wasn't
how
even
many
one of the
people
deadly
could let that
sins.
go,
She
right?
No.
was trying to make him wrath.
Pregnant wife.
You said, I envy your sister.
no.
Well, he never knew she was pregnant, but still.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
And he did say,
so bad for him.
I'm gonna,
I was so messed
I
up.
made you live a different life or something in the car.
Anywhere but here.
Nah. They're not arrested.
Around.
He's staying around.
He's
not
gonna
quit.
stay.
He's not retiring.
I don't think so.
I'll be around.
No, he's not gonna
Wow.
He's
retire.
not leaving.
I was wrong. I was half
city
right.
needs
Calm down, calm down. Fucking sweating. This film is making me sweat.
Mills needs him.
And worth fighting for.
Mills too. Mills needs him.
I agree with the second part.
So, like, the women over here on the far right there, the one with the white headphones and the woman, underneath her there. So, I mean, like, I think it's getting rarer and rarer that we're seeing movies that provoke that kind of emotion nowadays, which it's a sad state of affairs. We're seeing that, because now a lot of movie studios, they just want to make content. They don't want to make like a great movie or anything like that. They just want to make a movie that on the surface looks good enough to get some suckers' asses in seats there to get your money and be done with it and whatnot. So that's one of a million things about Seven that I like, is that it's one of those movies that just provokes a myriad of different reactions there. So you see that, and so that's why it was cool. It was cool. One of the things that was cool the other night is seeing Seven in IMAX, seeing it on the big ass IMAX screen. And it wasn't it was kind of the IMAX screen. It wasn't the IMAX you get at AMC theaters. It was the bigger IMAX screen that you see at Cinemark there. It wasn't the the big, like, what do they call that? The OmniMax, theater there where you're like looking up, you're gonna like lean back and see. It wasn't that there, but I don't like those OmniMaxes right there. That's actually too much screen for me. Okay, that's like, all right, and now it's got a sensory overload. So the Cinemark IMAX that I saw Seven on was perfect right there. But another cool thing about that IMAX experience was, again, getting to see the movie with people that had clearly not seen it again. And, I was watching those dudes, in the row in front of me that had never seen it before, and watching them react to the movie. And I was there with some friends, and I was kind of just looking over at them. We were just kind of like, look at them. Oh, like just kind of pointing them out, like, oh, they're gonna. And I was kind of like, looking at my friends, kind of looking at each other, like, wait till they see this not this next scene, but the scene after this. They're gonna lose their shit, like. So it was kind of like that. So it was kind of a fun experience checking that out right there. All right. So, but hopefully you guys enjoyed that. You guys didn't find the talking over each other too annoying and whatnot. I know there's shows out there where the talking over each other is much more annoying. Like, I don't know if you ever watch like Piers Morgan, or a number of Fox News shows or CNN, like, you get all the hosts, talking over each other, like, particularly like if it's a bunch of liberals and then one conservative on there, and then the conservative says something that all the liberals don't want. He's usually like 6 liberals and 1 conservative, and the conservative gets done saying something that triggers the the 6 liberals around the table, and all of a sudden the 6 liberals all in unison start going, blah, 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 blah. They just all talk over them because they're like, well, we can't defeat your point on facts and logic, so we're just going to talk over you. Blah, 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 blah. So there you go. So that's more annoying than the talking over each other that I saw in that video right there. Okay. All right. So we've got important business to attend to here at Movies Merica, spoiler warning incorporated right there. And that is a little brew review time. Boy, was I getting thirsty. So that brew review time came just in time right there. So, and let me introduce you to a little Le Chouf. Okay, no, not Le Chiffre. All right, not the bad guy on the movie Casino Royale. Okay, no, it's just Le Chouf. Okay, and this comes to us from Belgium right here, and it comes to us from a city in Belgium that I am not even going to attempt to pronounce. Okay, I am an ugly American, and I am not going to embarrass myself and my fellow Americans by trying to pronounce that name of the town with way too many letters in it. That's for sure, right there. But this is a Belgian blonde beer right here, and let me get a little closer there. There you go, a little Le Chouf in your face. And this is a pleasantly spiced beer, I have to say, okay? And I'm not getting any money from the brewers of Le Chouf at all over there in Belgium, okay? And I'm not getting any Belgium bucks or whatever they call their currency over there. They probably use euros or some crazy whacked out currency like that. Come on, or maybe they're still using shekels. Who knows? I don't know. All right. But, if you look at the marketing for this beer, it says that it has like citrus notes in it, but I'll be honest with you guys, all right, because that's what I'm all about here is honesty. All right, I'm like Billy Joel. I'm all about the honesty. And I don't taste any citrus notes in this, all right? And believe me, I've taken enough tugs off this beer right here. I don't taste any citrus notes. I don't smell any citrus notes in this. But all I notice is it's got like a perfect amount of coriander in this, so really good amount right there. Not too much, not too little of the old coriander there. This beer is very smooth, not harsh. It's not bitter or anything like that. It doesn't give you a heartburn or has a bad, have a bad aftertaste or anything like that. And with the coriander in it and with the packaging right there, to be honest with you, to be quite frank, to me, I think it makes a good holiday beer, even though we just got done with the holidays right there. But who cares? You can drink this in January, February. Who cares, right? So it's pretty damn good. I would check this out right here, and it's 8% alcohol by volume, so it's got a little bit of kick to it right there. So not like a Van Damme Seagal kind of kick, maybe like a fat housewife kind of kick, okay, something like that. So nothing too earth shattering or anything like that. But all right, well, whenever I mention a fat housewife, I have to take a drink of beer. So them's the rules. I don't make them, I just enjoy them. Excellente, as they say in Belgium. Anyway, all right, but you can get yourself some of this here. Probably not at your local Gas and Gulp or your local grocery store or anything like that. Particularly if you live in a one-stoplight town. Okay, I have the good fortune of living in a major, massively big metropolitan area. So I've got stores like that, but you may not, and so. If you're in that situation, you can go to someplace like Open Bar, which is an app on your phone, or Uber Eats. They deliver booze now. Go either drizzly.com, that's DRIZLY.com, or what's the other one now? GoPuff.com right there. One of those two got bought out by Uber Eats. So if you go to one of those two, you're going to find one of them doesn't exist anymore, and it's Uber Eats now instead. But I'm just trying to give you all kinds of ways to get your hands on some Le Chouf. All right, with that, let's end a little brew review time. All right, let's see what we've got here in the peanut gallery right here. And look, we've got, I'm Sean Cav joining us. Hey, how we doing? How we doing? We're really good right there. And yes, fat housewife kick. Exactly. So, yeah, people better come correct to me. Otherwise, they're going to get the old fat housewife kick. I don't know why I'm moving my hands because that's not a kick. All right. So there you go. I have no idea why I'm doing that. Doesn't really make sense right there as I struggle to handle the English language right there. So, and yeah. Wow. Showing your population privilege there. Lindy Ring 87 being a Karen in the live chat there. Yeah, he just asked me if he could see my manager right there. My God, Lindy Ring 87. All right. Jeez. We give everybody the same amount of French fries. All right. My God. Oh, now he's tearing up the French fry machine. Lindy Ring, get away from that. Oh, now he's throwing French fries at everybody. Oh, my God. What the hell? Oh, jeez. Oh, my God. Somebody, well, if he's doing it anyway, get a video of it and throw it up on YouTube. There you go. Exactly. There you go. Yes. All right. So where should we go from here? I have no idea. Like just so many options right there, but I know what we could do. I could tell you about our Movies Merica merch, all right? And you can get yourself some Movies Merica merch if you click on the merch link down in the description. As I burp right there. I know, I'm a classy kind of guy. There you go. I got class right up the yes. There you go. But yes, on that classy note, yeah, grab yourself some Movies Merica merch via the merch link down in the description. So, you get yourself a Movies Merica t-shirt like you see up there at the top left. You don't have to get it in black. We got it in multiple colors there. If you're not in a t-shirt kind of mood, you can get yourself like a Movies Merica shot glass or a pint glass or a cell phone case or yoga pants or whatever, a bundt cake maker, whatever. It's you name it, it's probably there with the old Movies Merica logo emblazoned right across it there. So, and now when you click on that link for the merch, you might have to scroll down a little bit, go down. Not that kind of going down. So this is a family show, right? All right, there you go. Well, not really, but but yeah, the Movies Merica merch is in or on that page. Trust me, you just have to scroll down a little bit right there, okay? And as you see, if you put in promo code MOVIES, you're gonna get free shipping on all your shit. Okay, there you go. So you know what? Take advantage of it right there. Take advantage of it. Okay, take advantage of our stupid kindness of providing free shipping. Okay, so we'll take advantage of our rare politeness, our rare goodwill to our fellow man, because I don't know how long we'll be able to keep this up, because that's not in our nature, okay, to do good things for other people. Not at all, right there. So seize on the opportunity while you can there, minions. All right, so let's talk a little bit more Se7en, shall we? Yes, let's do it. That's what you guys are here for. That's what gets the big bucks right there. And so John Doe, of course, played by he shall not be named Kevin Spacey. John Doe is truly one of the most intriguing and terrifying villains in movie history. He's right up there like Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men, or Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs and other Hannibal movies there. So what's another one? This is a deep dive right there. But the character from The Collector and The Collection, that guy, he's got a just very sinister and that kind of thing. So very, very obscure deep dive, The Collector and The Collection movies, that kind of thing. So and so John Doe, again, he's one of the most intriguing and terrifying villains in movie history. And to be quite honest with you, that's in part due to the crafty but very, very cruel nature of his kills. Okay, making a guy eat pasta until he eats, to death to punish gluttony. He makes a guy cut a pound of flesh off himself as forced attrition for the deadly sin of greed. We all know. We all know how he punished a woman for the deadly sin of lust. Disgusting. All right, so pretty damn nasty when we all saw that there going on, I mean, I'm sure we were all like, exactly there. So nasty. But so he's kind of like a more nuts to bolts, kind of more grounded Jigsaw from the Saw movies, right? So he's kind of like that. He's kind of doing all these elaborate kills and that kind of thing. But of course, you got to give Seven credit because it came out before the first Saw movie. Okay, right there. So take that, Jigsaw. All right. But that being said, if you want to know more about a life experience that would make a murderer like John Doe, there actually is a John Doe comic book that goes into John Doe's life before the events of the movie. And allow me, I'll just read you the Cliff's Notes version of that comic book. Since remember Mills in Seven, he really likes his Cliff Notes there, right there, because he got all the books from Somerset right there, and he's trying to read like Dante and all those other books, and of course he's just like, screw this, I'm so sick of having to read these books like that, so you get some street cop, some beat cop to get him the Cliff's Notes versions of the books right there. So allow me to tantalize you with some kind of a summary, like I said, a Cliff's Notes version description of the John Doe comic book right there. So right here we got John Doe is the villainous protagonist of the non-canon Seven comics. Unlike this version of the film, this version focuses more on the character of John Doe as he carried out his murders and his past. All right, so let's do this here. Let's get right to the meat of this right here. And all right, we'll start right here. So this is the biography of John Doe. So this is all the shit that went down before the plot of the movie Seven. All right, so I'm not going to start right at the beginning, but I'll start somewhere in the description here. As a child, Doe suffered from excruciating cluster headaches, which were treated with a botched attempt at electroshock therapy. Doe's mother was a religious fanatic, obsessed with sin and eternal damnation. That kind of sounds like Carrie's mom from the movie Carrie, Sissy Spacek, Piper Laurie, John Travolta, Nancy Allen. So based on the Stephen King book, Carrie right there. The mother in that was also a religious fanatic. We go on. At one point during John Doe's school years, Doe began to develop carnal desires for a sexually active girl in his class, which his mother condemned. His mother became infuriated upon finding Doe masturbating in the bathroom and beat him. Doe would later witness his mother having sex with his equally God-fearing uncle. As a teenager, he became besotted by a pleasant young girl in his religious education class. At this stage in his life, Doe began the habit of writing journals describing his every thought and action. He wrote that his feelings toward this girl were pure and that she was nothing like the girl he lusted over years before. He offered to help the girl with her revision and invited her to his house. Upon entering his room, however, they encountered John's mother, now a violent alcoholic. She was reading John's journals and mockingly read them out to the girl. The girl ran away while John's mother attacked him and told him that no matter what he did, he would always be a sinner and would inevitably go to hell. Later in life, Doe married, but found his wife cheating on him. John never had children because his wife was unable to, so he never touched her. Soon afterward, he was fired from his job for arguing with his boss. After witnessing a car crash, Doe began to question if God was really watching over mankind. John visited his mother at his childhood home and found her burning his belongings. She died in the flames, leaving John a key for a box containing the book of the 7 deadly sins. So it says she died in the flames. I'm suspecting maybe John Doe made sure she died in the flames there, but that's just my theory right there. Experiencing an epiphany, John proceeded to shave off his fingertips, pull out his teeth, and grind them into a powder and castrate himself, thus renouncing his former identity. Doe dedicated himself to making a statement by using the 7 deadly sins against people who had committed them. Doe's interest in and infatuation with Detective David Mills is further explored in the comics, where glimpses into him stalking Mills, reviewing photographs taken of him, and even complimenting him, "My beautiful Judas, you're going to be so good for me," can be seen. So I just thought that was very intriguing there. And because when I first heard that there was a comic book that went over what John Doe's life was before the plot of, the events of Seven, I had to check it out. I had to check it out right there, because I'm like, the kills, his acts in the movie Seven are so depraved, so sinister, so maniacal, so psychotic, so satanic, really, in a way, that you can't help but be intrigued by, like, what experience, what life experience, like what was this event, and then that event, and then this other event, and that led up to the making of a murderer like this. And what you learned right there, it does make sense. It tracks. It's like, oh yeah, of course. I mean, stuff like that. Yeah, that would definitely make a murder right there. That's definitely just a perfect bouillabaisse, the perfect ingredients in the witch's cauldron, all stirred together with eye of Batwing and eye of newts and all that stuff right there to craft a psychotic killer like John Doe there. So. And check out the live chat right there. And I'm Sean Kev. What's in the box? Exactly right there. And that is probably the most famous phrase from this movie right there. I'm surprised that Jack in the Box hasn't taken that up, or maybe they did in 1995. Maybe I just forgot that Jack in the Box. Maybe they did a promotional thing with Seven there, because I can't think of a better movie for a fast food joint to do a promotion for. Like, right now, go to select Jack in the Boxes and get your 7 kitty meal. For all the kids right there, you'll get a John Doe action figure. Hey, kids, get the John Doe action figure right here. The John Doe action figure with the Kung Fu grip. Yay! Hey, Dad, I got me a Somerset action figure here. Wow, that's great there, son. You got yourself a 7 kitty meal from Jack in the Box. Wow, 7. Let's play 7 action figures. Yay! I can't think of a better movie to do a cross promotion for. E.T. had Reese's Pieces, and Jurassic Park, I think probably had a thing with McDonald's. Jack in the Box, and they could have the model, Jack in the Box, get yourself a 7 double cheeseburger right now. What's in the box? A 7 double cheeseburger from Jack in the Box. Stop it now. So there you go. Love it. Love it. And yes, exactly. I'm Sean Cab. I didn't know that at all there. There's additional lore to the movie, and it's in comic book form right there. So yeah, the summary that I had right there is just the tip of the John Doe iceberg. And so I'm gonna try to find that comic book somewhere there. I want to get the tactile version. I want the physical version. I don't want to read it online. I want to get the tactile version somewhere. So yes, in this massive population area that I live in, Lindy Rig, I'm sure I could find a comic book store there. I shouldn't say I'm sure. There might be a comic book store that actually has a copy of that. So we shall see right there. So, all right, let's do this here real quick. I just want to let you guys know about something that you guys should be well aware of here. Okay, I don't want to deprive you of this fantastic information. And that is information all about our fantastic sponsor of the show, Flip City Magazine. And so right now, if you are a very curious mind, all right, if you're you don't have to be bi-curious, you can just be curious. But if you're a curious guy or gal, you're probably asking, hey, what is Flip City Magazine? Well, I shall tell you. So remember Mad Magazine and Cracked Magazine? They were funny magazines back in the day, right? You could grab yourself a Mad magazine off a newsstand. Remember those newsstands? I know exactly. A thing of the past now, right? But yeah, grab yourself a Mad magazine or Crack magazine off the newsstand. Flip it on open and whatnot. Like, oh, that's crazy. Oh, that is so hilarious. Oh my God, they did a parody of Romancing the Stone. They call it Romancing the Bone. Alfred E. Newman, you are crazy. Okay, like you just crack up reading Mad magazine or Cracked. Okay, well, fast forward to the year of our Lord, 2016. So a blessed event happened in 2016. Maybe blessed to me and many others, but not to everybody, okay? And that was the election of one Donald J. Trump, okay? And so as you would imagine, at most amusement magazines or humor magazines or anything like that, most, if not all, their writers are going to be basically big old lefty lemmings. Okay, they went to journalism school or college. Just college period. And as we all know, colleges right now are just basically communist indoctrination camps. Are here for the last 20, 30 years, right? And so they go, they get good and brainwashed and indoctrinated, and then they go work at Mad Magazine or Cracked and whatnot. And sure, they write funny shit, they do, but they're a ticking time bomb waiting to be detonated, all right? And apparently the election of one Donald J. Trump was the event that pulled the pin on that lefty lemming whacked out grenade, okay? So when he got elected, Mad Magazine and Cracked just lost their shit, developed stage 5 TDS, and decided, you know what, we're not so much in the making you laugh business. We're in the business of teaching you how to live a good woke life, young man. All right, there you go. All right, you respect your BIPOCs, okay? And so the time had come for a worthy replacement for Mad Magazine and Cracked. And so Flip City Magazine drew the sword out of the stone. That sword being Excalibur. It wielded comedy Excalibur in its hand. And it's here to make you laugh, all right? But instead of hearing more about that from me, let's hear it straight from the source.
I love Flip City. It has brought new types of badassery and integrity to the print medium.
Genuinely cutting, but also funny, and obviously just chaotic and very fun.
Right, so we're going to make it so easy for you to get your hands on some Flip City, all right, because we've got a Flip City link in the description down below. Yeah, so all you got to do is click on that link in the description and put in promo code MOVIES, and you're going to get get 10% off your order of the best non-woke comic around, all right? So no preaching, no sermonizing, no magazine telling you, hey, Whitey, you're bad, you're an oppressor, all right? Like none of that crap right there, okay? So no, nothing but laughs, nothing but chuckles, nothing but yucks, okay? And hey, you know what? I've got my Flip City magazine right here to show you. I'm not bullshitting you, all right? Got it right there. So look at that. Ooh, yeah. Hold it in my fingertips right there. I can open it up. I can flip it open and check out some cool stuff. I got Trumpy Trump right there. So the man that drove Mad and Crack magazines, to wig out, sent them scurrying to their safe spaces right there. And I got some other stuff right in here. We got all kinds of like great, eye-catching photographs right there with some good captions and I got all kinds of great stuff right there. I got some comics in here. I got some artwork there. For some reason, the pages are sticking together. I don't know why. Anyway, that's not that kind of magazine, but you got all kinds of good comics in here. Cool stuff here in Flip City Magazine right there. So get yourself some right there. So easy because you got to click on the Flip City link in the description down below right there. Everybody get it done now. All right, make sure you do that. And hey, we got Beyond Formal over here in the live chat, joining the show and just spicing it up, adding some Beyond Formal seasoning to the movie's Merica mutton. I don't know. I couldn't think of anything. The movie's Merica minestrone soup. Nah, that's not even any better. There you go. So I'm just going to stop. There you go. But welcome Beyond Formal. And hey, anybody in the live chat right there, or if you with the folks who are in the live chat, check out click on their names, and that'll take you to their pages in Rumble. Okay, and you'll see they do their own content. They come up with their own great presentations, their own great shows. Okay, not just me. They've got great stuff there as well. And then make sure to follow, subscribe to them on Rumble and that kind of thing. So do it, check it out. And exactly. Well seasoned, baby. There you go. Absolutely. And now you are going too far Beyond Formal. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. I like it. I like it right there. Dig it. And what shall we do next right there? We just got all kinds of good stuff. You know what? I know what we should do. I know. And I think you guys are probably, picking up what I'm putting down. You guys are probably, guessing where I'm going to go next right here. I think we should get a little patriotic, don't you? So, and I'm sure I just gave it away right there. I think we should do a little movie military moment. All right, so just in case we got some newbies here in the show, let me let you know about what the movie military moment is, okay? So what I do with that is I pay homage. I honor a recipient of the Congressional Medal of Honor. Now, you may be wondering, that's kind of weak sauce. Why are you doing that? Your show's about movies there, Van. What does that have to do with movies? Congressional Medal of Honor winners and movies? That's reaching there, Van. What are you talking about? Well, the connection between the two is actually deeper and richer than you would think. All right, so and allow me to obliviate. So just picture someone who is awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. Okay, they didn't do it for blowing the biggest farts in the barracks. All right, they didn't do it for having the most polished boots. They didn't do it for having the snappiest salutes or being the best letter sorter at the base post office. No, they got it for doing some heroic shit, okay? So they are either, they're on Guadalcanal in World War II, and they are getting overrun by a bunch of Japs, right? And you got a guy, and he's on his BAR. That's stands for Browning Automatic Rifle for all you civilians. He's got his BAR. He's run out of rounds, and he's like, man, I'm dead meat over here. And then he sees the Japs are directing all their fire over at all his fellow soldiers over there, and he's like, oh man, I can't let them get my boys over there. Can't let them. So he's like, the only thing he's got on him is a grenade, and he pulls the pin on the grenade and runs towards the Japs and takes out all the Japs, and unfortunately himself. So some heroic shit, some shit that if you saw it on a big movie screen in front of you, it would be a very cool movie military moment, all right? So, it'd be like, wowie, zowie, what am I seeing? Your eyes would be popping out of your head. So that's the movie military moment connection right there, okay? And so for tonight's movie military moment, our recipient, our honoree is one Second Lieutenant, Technical Sergeant Van Thomas Barfoot right there. You always got to like those guys named Van right there. They always very heroic, very stand-up guys, good looking, very good looking, and kind of guys you'd want to take home to your mom and dad. You know, the guy's named Van, just always great, always fantastic right there. And so, about time we honor a Congressional Medal of Honor recipient with the first name Van right there. And you know what? I think Van deserves his own very sweet movie military moment music. Don't you? I think he does. And so we are going to attend to that right now. This is the movie military moment. And in this movie military moment, we will honor Tech Sergeant Van Thomas Barfoot, who fought for us in World War II. And let's learn more about Tech Sergeant Barfoot, shall we? For conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of life above and beyond the call of duty on 23rd May, 1944, near Carano, Italy. With his platoon heavily engaged during an assault against forces well entrenched on commanding ground, 2nd Lieutenant Barfoot, then Tech Sergeant, moved off alone upon the enemy left flank. He crawled to the proximity of one machine gun nest and made a direct hit on it with a hand grenade, killing 2 and wounding 3 Germans. He continued along the German defense line to another machine gun emplacement and with his Tommy gun killed 2 and captured 3 soldiers. Members of another enemy machine gun crew then abandoned their position and gave themselves up to Sergeant Barfoot. Leaving the prisoners for his support squad to pick up, he proceeded to mop up positions in the immediate area, capturing more prisoners and bringing his total count to 17. Later that day, after he had reorganized his men and consolidated the newly captured ground, the enemy launched a fierce armored counterattack directly at his platoon positions. Securing a bazooka, Sergeant Barfoot took up an exposed position directly in front of 3 advancing Mark 6 tanks. From a distance of 75 yards, his first shot destroyed the track of the leading tank, effectively disabling it while the other 2 changed direction toward the flank. As the crew of the disabled tank dismounted, Sergeant Barfoot killed 3 of them with his Tommy gun. He continued onward into enemy terrain and destroyed a recently abandoned German field piece with a demolition charge placed in the breach. While returning to his platoon position, Sergeant Barfoot, though greatly fatigued by his Herculean efforts, assisted 2 of his seriously wounded men 1,700 yards to a position of safety. Sergeant Barfoot's extraordinary heroism, demonstration of magnificent valor, and aggressive determination in the face of point-blank fire are a perpetual inspiration to his fellow soldiers. And we salute you, Tech Sergeant Van Thomas Barfoot. And that has been the movie military moment. All right. Woo! Man, so excited. My nipples are hard. There you go. I love it. Is that oversharing? Yep, well, too late now. All right. Well, on that nipply note, I think it's time to wrap up this one little thing we call the movie military moment. All right, let's check out those comments right there. And yeah, Liddy Brigade 7. I remember when he was Tucky's America. Yes, yeah, there you go. Harry, check out Tucky's America right there. He's a sensation, all right. He'll even do the jitterbug right there. Oh, he's the cat's pajamas there. That Tucky's America. There you go. Extra, read all about Talkie's America. Love it right there. So there you go. I remember that too. I remember back when I was Talkie's America. And oh my God, gin, you could get a bottle of gin for 10 cents and a blowjob for a nickel. Oh, way back in the day. Oh, those are the days. Oh, God. All right, so well, there's probably no point in me going over what I was about to go over next right there because I probably lost every viewer with that right there. But I wanted to let you guys know that, hey, if you guys are appreciating what I'm doing enough to, throw like 1 or 2 or 5 or whatever. I had to I'm losing fingers. I can only count up to 10. All right, there, because I only got 10 fingers right there. So, but if you want to throw a little money my way because you appreciate what I'm doing, whatever it is I'm doing, enough to throw some money my way, you can do that. So on Rumble, you can give me what's called a Rumble rant, okay? And that gives you the opportunity to throw a little money my way. And so the way you do that is down by where you type in your live chat message in Rumble. Just click on the button with a $sign on it, and then it'll just ask you how much money, how much cashola you want to throw my way, and that's it. Very simple, okay? So there you go. Simple like me, all right? And then if you're checking me out on the Tube of Views or YouTube, you can give me what's called a Super Chat. And the way you do that is down by where you type in your live chat message on YouTube. Just click on the button with a dollar bill on it and just put in how much you want to throw my way. And that's all there is to it. Very easy, or easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right. And again, if you don't feel like doing it, totally cool. I'm not, going to be like that pressure salesman. All right. I'm not Alec Baldwin up here going, always be closing. All right. There you go. All right. So yeah. Put that down. Coffee's for closers. Like, no, I'm not that guy right there. I'm not a pressure salesman. All right. So only if you feel like it, or only if you can afford it, that kind of thing right there. All right. So let's do this here real quick. And, you know what I should do right now is I teased it in the description that I sent out earlier for the show. And so I should probably live up to what I said I was going to do. And that is going over my top 5 Brad Pitt movies. But before I do that, I'm going to take a little tug off this beer right here, so I'll get a little drinky. So, yeah, you guys go ahead and grab your brews, grab your cocktails, grab your wine, grab whatever you're drinking. And, go ahead and get a drink of that right there. So, there you go. It's drink time right there. And also, it just popped in my head. Let's drink to those people in California, right? People in L.A., dealing with the wildfires right now. Okay, unfortunately, got some lousy politicians there that caused it. But hey, you know what? We'll deal with that afterwards there. But for right now, unfortunately, we got a lot of good people that lost houses and some people that lost their lives and that kind of thing. That's the ultimate tragedy right there. Possessions can be replaced, but lives obviously cannot right there. So, yeah, just, keep those people in your thoughts. If you're a praying person, keep them in your prayers and all that stuff. It's just tragic what's going on with the wildfires in L.A. there. So I've got a brother and sister that are out there. Thank God they're safe right now. And so they're always keeping us updated with constant updates, and I'm glad for that. So hopefully they make it out of that whole mess there unscathed. But all right, moving on right here to the top 5 Brad Pitt movies right there. And so these are movies where Brad Pitt, like, he's the star pretty much, right? Okay, he's not part of an ensemble cast. He's not a supporting player. He's not like, in the movie. It's not a movie where he's in it for like 5 minutes or anything like that. So these are Brad Pitt movies. Like, these are movies you go to. Brad Pitt's at the top of the marquee, all right? So, and I'll be honest with you, when I was going through all of Brad Pitt movies to narrow it down to 5 there as far as the top 5 right there. Just look at Brad Pitt's IMDb and you will realize, like, this guy has had banger after banger after banger after banger. Pardon me. It's hard to get it down to 5 best movies right there, but I did it. I happened to nail it down right there. I got the job done, because that's what men do. We get the job done. So I got the top 5 Brad Pitt movies job done. All right. So let's get right into it. Enough of me yapping about it, and let's get right into it. So my number 5, my top number 5 Brad Pitt movie there, if I can talk today, is Moneyball. Yes, Moneyball, where he plays a real-life character. That's the general manager, Billy Bean, from the Oakland A's there. And so this is a movie that I had low expectations for. Okay, I was like, I'm not an A's fan. I don't care about a general manager for, I don't care about general managers. So this movie's 0 for 2 for me already. I am not an A's fan. I couldn't give a crap about a general manager of a baseball team, right? But this movie just managed to make a movie with those two aspects to its plot entertaining and captivating and enthralling, and it just kind of swallows you up into the movie there. And Brad Pitt, man, he's just lights out. And this is like one of his more understated, roles here. He's not all in your face and garish, like he is in like Fight Club or 12 Monkeys or anything like that, or Fury. None of those movies right there. This one is like a little bit more grounded and understated and that kind of thing, because this is based on a true story here. And so we've got, Billy Bean and Billy Bean's friends and family. And I'm sure, if Brad Pitt, was going all Nicolas Cage or anything like that and going crazy, he'd be like, that's not Billy Bean. That's not our Billy. He doesn't act like that. He doesn't act like a freaking psycho. All right. They'd be like, that's not right. But yeah, Billy Bean, he was a general manager. I forget like what year and all that stuff this all went down. So, but it's about him trying to cobble together a Oakland A's baseball team to compete with the big boys back in this day, the Yankees and the Dodgers and whatever, right? But their payroll is like bottom of the basement as far as the amount of payroll that they have available to go out there and get the blue chip players, right? Get the good guys, get the big guys there. And so he's got to figure out a way with the money that the cheapskate owner is giving him to be a contender, right? And so before, at the beginning of this movie, they talk about Jason Giambi. They lost Jason Giambi. They lost I'll say lose, like this is before Jose Canseco, so I don't know, Mark McGuire. I mean, back they lost some big players there, and so that so their next season is slated to just be a complete failure, right? So he's got to go out and try to get some good players with basically peanuts for a payroll, okay? And so he goes and he meets with Jonah Hill. He goes to like the Cleveland Indians, right? He's talking to the general manager of the Cleveland Indians, and they're doing their wheeling and dealing, negotiating. And hey, what players on your roster, can we talk about? Can you deal for me? Who can we who can we do a transaction or make a transaction on to get them on over to the A's and get them away from you? And they start talking, and so in that scene, you see Jonah Hill's character. And it's apparent that everybody in the room, the general manager and the other personnel with the Cleveland Indians, yes, and they will always be the Indians. They are not the whatever the hell they're called now. They all look like they're deferring to Jonah Hill and Jonah Hill's judgment. And Billy Bean picks up on this. And so after that meeting doesn't go Billy Bean's way, he goes and talks to Jonah Hill, gets Jonah Hill. He quickly realizes Jonah Hill is a numbers guy. Okay, he's what do they call it? Well, it's like basically he's kind of like the grandfather. Jonah Hill's character is kind of grandfather of what they call Moneyball, right? So they basically they calculate all these stats and that kind of thing, and they use the stats and the numbers to figure out who's going to do very well for the club instead of using more non-numeric data, shit that will not be on a spreadsheet. Like in one scene in this movie, the old dudes that you see here in the picture right there, they're picking players based on confidence and whatnot. And so they're like, they want a player that's confident, and so that'll maybe be a good hitter or be confident to make big plays and that kind of thing. And so one of the old guys like, well, this prospective player, he's got an ugly girlfriend. Well, what's that have to do with anything? Well, ugly girlfriend means low confidence. We don't want a low confidence player. And Billy Bean hears this like, my God, this is how we're gauging how good players are, is stupid shit like that. Like, let's crunch some numbers, right? And so he gets Jonah Hill to join his team to crunch the numbers and that kind of thing. And so they start, basing, who they're going to pick up based on RBIs and on-base percentage and all that stuff, all the stats, all the numbers, that kind of thing. How many triples, singles, doubles they've had, all that stuff. And so I know none of that stuff sounds exciting, especially if you're not into sports ball, none of that. But then the dynamic between Billy Beane and all the old dudes here across the desk is there's a lot of friction, a lot of tension, and so that creates some good drama within the ball club. Then we have the late great Philip Seymour Hoffman. He plays the manager. I think it's Art Howe. Back at the time, Art Howe was the manager of the Oakland A's, and so there's friction between Billy Beane, the general manager, and Art Howe, the coach, and the manager, I guess, and of the team, because that's how it typically works with general managers and managers of the baseball teams. The general manager's like, hey, I picked you up. I got you these players. Now you need to play these players so that we win. And a lot of times sometimes the manager will be like, no, I didn't want to put him in. I don't want to put him in this game, or I don't want to play him, or he wasn't right for that scenario. So there's a lot of back and forth and headbutting with that. And then also in this movie, Billy Beane, he's got a young daughter, so he's trying to balance his job as the general manager with being a good single dad because he's divorced, and so he's trying to be a good dad to his daughter. And the relationship between him and his daughter is very sweet in this movie. And so really, my description of this movie, I realize it's dog shit, and I would not want to watch this movie if I heard my description of Moneyball. So if you had never seen Moneyball, go check it out. Don't listen to this guy. Okay, go check out Moneyball. You'll be very happy that you see it. You don't have to like baseball to like this. It's more about the dynamics and relationships between the players and Billy Beane and his daughter and his ex-wife and all that stuff. And it's got a very young Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt is in this movie. This is a movie that Chris Pratt was in way before anybody knew he was knew of him as Star-Lord or anything like that. So Chris Pratt is in this in a very early role for him. So, but yeah, Billy. I think let me see here. I think Brad Pitt did such a good job in Moneyball. I think that he got nominated for a Oscar, I think, for this here. Let's see here. Moneyball. Let's see here. Okay, let's see here. Teams General. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so Moneyball received 6 nominations at the Oscars, including Best Picture, Best Actor for Pitt, Best Supporting Actor for Jonah Hill, and a Best Adapted Screenplay for Sorkin, Zalian, and Shervin. Shit, they had some heavy hitters for freaking screenwriters in this. Holy shit. And they won a grand total of no Academy Awards for the for Moneyball right there. But I mean, hey, that says something about Brad Pitt's performance in Moneyball. So that's why it was my number 5 Brad Pitt movie. Moving on to number 4, we've got Inglourious Bastards. There was no way Inglourious Bastards was not going to be in my top 5 with Brad Pitt as Lieutenant Aldo Raine in this. Okay, and as you see right here, this is right after he does one of his masterpieces. Give me a masterpiece. Got to carve a swastika in somebody's forehead right there. There you go. There, and so he's great in this. He's hilarious in this. Because this movie has a lot of violence and it's kind of dark and whatnot, but it's if you obviously like I'm like anybody else, I love watching Nazis get their asses kicked in movies, and so Inglourious Bastards is great for that. Even better than the Indiana Jones movies, because you see Nazi lives get ended in Inglourious Bastards in bloody, brutal, very satisfying ways. And Aldo Raine, he is like the ringleader of that in Inglourious Bastards there, and he does it with a sense of humor in this. It's like what's did he say? Says to that German officer right before the bear Jew takes the bat to his head. Right there is like, so you see this here map, put your wiener schnitzel licking finger right here on this here map here and show me where the troops down the road are, or something like that. Just says some funny shit like that. So, and just lots of lots of great lines like that. It's like, well, you don't have to be a military fucking strategist to know you don't do a meetup in a fucking basement. Just great lines from Brad Pitt as Aldo Rain with that. And of course, he lays down the law for the Inglourious Bastards that he's leading into battle, or up against the Germans there. He says, hey, you know what? You owe me 100 Nazi scalps, and I will have my scalps. Okay, and so he's like laying down the law, making sure they get scalps. And so, of course, you see his big, Bowie knife right there, and he's getting scalps. And then you've got Eli Roth, who's known more as a movie director. That's Eli Roth. He, did the Hostel movies, and just did Thanksgiving was a movie he did last year. And what did he do? He just did a movie this year that was a complete fucking flop there. What was that? Let's go to our favorite cheat sheet, otherwise known as IMDb. Let's take a look here, see, because he came out with a god awful movie this year, so god awful that I can't remember what it was here. Let's see. Oh, Borderlands. He just did Borderlands this year, so yeah, that tanked at the box office there. No mistaking that. So Eli Roth there on the left, yeah, he's a movie director there, but in Inglourious Bastards, yeah, he was hilarious as the Bear Jew there, otherwise known as Donnie Donowitz. And that's right there. And hey, Channel 2 Action News. Oh, hi. How you doing there, Channel 2 Action News? Thank you for joining the show right there. And hopefully you're enjoying the top 5 Brad Pitt list right there. And oh, by the way, oh, hi. There you go. That didn't sound gay at all. But yeah, so Brad Pitt, he's leading the bastards into conflict. Well, I'm going to say battle, because he's not going up against like masses of German troops and whatnot. They're kind of doing guerrilla warfare, that kind of thing. And he gets the attention of the old bastard himself, old Adolf Hitler. And you learn that Adolf Hitler knows about the exploits of the Inglourious Bastards so much that he knows that they always leave one man alive, and they carve a swastika into his forehead right there. And so it's just hilarious, just watching the characters of the bastards like just get under Hitler's skin. He's like, just picture it, because yeah, again, any movie where Hitler is like losing his shit, you love it, right? You love it. Okay. And then I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Christoph Waltz is Colonel Hans Landa in this is fantastic. I mean, there's so many thousands of reasons to love Inglourious Bastards here, even outside of Brad Pitt. You've got Quentin Tarantino's fantastic direction. This like that opening scene where Landa goes to the French dairy farmer's house and goes in there, and he's interviewing the dairy farmer, and his daughters are there, and he gets the milk from the daughters. He's drinking the milk and all that stuff. And, my compliments to your cow for the milk. And then it quickly turns, it slowly and methodically and masterfully goes from the kind of, jovial, kind of just clinical kind of scene that it is, where two characters are just going back and forth and having some dialogue. And then it gets very tense, okay? And, as Landa, probably the whole time he knew that the French dairy farmer was hiding Jews underneath his floorboards. And then just the whole scene where Landa, we're the whole part of the scene where Landa's like, I'm assuming that they don't speak English, and so he does this whole ruse and that kind of thing. So, I mean, just that whole scene and just the whole tension of that scene and the music that went along with it and all that stuff, like masterful. And there's all kinds of great scenes like that in Inglourious Bastards. Obviously, don't get me started on Nazi night, at the end of the movie, towards the end of the movie, and Shoshana, bringing the house down, literally, there during the Nazi night sequence right there. So fantastic movie. But Brad Pitt is fantastic in that, with his American wilderness, backwoods charm and sense of humor. I mean, he suffers no fools. He's got no time for Nazis, and that's why I've seen Inglourious Bastards so many damn times right there. All right, so that was the number 4 Brad Pitt movie in my list. And before we move on, I'm going to take another drinky right here. So, yeah, grab your beverages and join me. All right. Let's do this. Let's move on. Let's get this done right here. And we're moving on to number 3 in my list of Brad Pitt movies, and that would be Troy. Yes. Troy gave me much joy in watching this right here. And Troy gets a bad rap, okay? And I don't know why. I have no idea why. This is a fantastic movie. Now, if you watch Troy, get the director's cut. Get the extended version, the director's cut, with additional scenes and additional battle scenes, and it just gets even bloodier and gorier, and it adds some good background to some characters and whatnot, and it helps you get to know some characters better than you do in the theatrical version. The theatrical version is fine. It's not the worst theatrical version that I've seen. It's not like Kingdom of Heaven or Alien 3 or anything like that. Pardon me. But you watch the director's cut of Troy. And Troy was directed by the late, great Wolfgang Peterson. Wolfgang Peterson, you know him from directing movies like Air Force One, In the Line of Fire, movies like that. So what else is he? He did Das Boot there. That's I don't know if anybody's heard of Das Boot. That's cinephiles know Das Boot there. But yeah, so check out. So check out Troy from Wolfgang Peterson there. Obviously, he's got Brad Pitt in it as Achilles. You got Eric Bana in there as Hector. You got Orlando Bloom. He's in there as Paris. And so it's all about the Greeks going up against the Trojans right there. Okay, so it's all telling that basically it's based off of the Homer book, the Iliad. Okay, and this is just a good, just great battle movie. It's like an ancient history. Well, it's not a history, but because this is not a true story, but ancient fantasy kind of movie. With Brad Pitt just playing a badass Achilles in this. I mean, this guy is a badass. Just the battle scenes and Brad Pitt as Achilles just kicking ass. And he's got this one speech that he tells his men, because Achilles, he's the leader of this group of men called the Myrmidons, and they are like elite fighters. They're like the Navy SEALs of this time. They're like the Team 6, like SEAL Team 6, right, of this time. And so he's on the boat. Okay, they're about to hit the shore of Troy, and he's getting his men fired up. And he basically points over to the beach, the beaches of Troy, and look over there, victory, it's yours, take it. Just this great speech, and it's like it just gets you fired up. You're like, yeah, it's like a great speech. Like if you ever, whenever you wake up in the morning and you're like, wiping the sleepy seeds out of your eyes, you're like, oh God, I don't want to go to work in the morning. Fire up that speech. Okay, look, you search at YouTube, like, Achilles, motivational speech in Troy or something like that, and watch that shit. And you will be like, yeah, I'm going to attack that. I'm going to attack these spreadsheets like there's no tomorrow. Fuck yeah. All right. I can't wait to get to my cubicle. I'm going to kick so much ass, that kind of thing. So, be like, you're a claims adjuster at an insurance company. Like, calm down. All right. There you go. Yeah, but I just watched this Brad Pitt motivational speech. It's so fucking awesome. That kind of thing. So Troy's got a great moment like that. It's got great characters in it, like lots of personality. It's got Brian Cox in it well before he was in the movie, in the TV series Succession, well before that there. And he plays what's his character's name? Anyway, it's not important. But he plays like the main bad guy in this. He's the guy that is invading Troy, and Achilles is kind of like his hired gun. Okay, Achilles doesn't really like him, but Achilles is a Greek, and so he's hired. He's basically on Brian Cox's side. So he's like, I got to fight for Brian Cox. And Brian Cox hates Achilles because Achilles like, I don't answer to you, Dick. You're not my general. You're not my king. I don't answer to you. I can kick your ass. I can take out all your troops. So I'm just helping you out, because I want to get glory. I want my name to be remembered in the history books. That's the only reason I'm fighting for you there. So, yeah. So, and then you've got like great performances also, like Eric Bana from as Hector, and you got a smoking hot Diane Kruger. As she's completely forgetting her name. She's a famous historical, and I keep saying historical figure, but a character in the Helen of Troy. She plays Helen of Troy, Diane Kruger. Okay, and yeah, a total smoke show in this movie. Who else we got in this? We've got Sean Bean. Okay, Sean Bean is in this. Future Ned Stark, and of course he was obviously Boromir, from the Lord of the Rings movie. So Sean Bean, who does he play? He plays Odysseus. He plays Odysseus in this. And Odysseus, actually, just sidebar here, Odysseus is the main character of the upcoming Christopher Nolan movie, The Odyssey. Okay, so Christopher Nolan's next movie is called The Odyssey, and Odysseus, played by Sean Bean in Troy, is the main character in The Odyssey, directed by Christopher Nolan. So that's at least one reason right there. It's worth watching Troy. If you haven't seen it ever before, just keep track of Sean Bean's character Odysseus, and then this will show you Odysseus in the Battle of Troy and all that, and all the events that take place before the events of the Odyssey, because the Odyssey was Homer's third book. Okay, so Iliad was the second book. The Odyssey was a third book, and so Odysseus goes from the events of the second book, the Iliad, which Troy is all about, to the events of the Odyssey, the third book. All right, there. So in the third book, Odysseus is the main character. In the Iliad, Achilles is the main character there. So, but great, bloody, fucking brutal battle scenes in Troy. It's got a great soundtrack to it. Was it? I think it's James Horner. Let's see here. I think James Horner, the late great James Horner, did the music for this movie right there. Let's see here. I hate scrolling. I really fucking hate scrolling. Yeah, James Horner. Yeah, James Horner did the music for Troy, and it's a fantastic soundtrack, fantastic score to Troy, because James Horner. Okay, so James Horner, he did the score for plenty of movies. I'm sure you know. You might have heard of a little movie called Braveheart, a little movie called Titanic, a little movie like Avatar, and then in his early days, he did the movie music for 48 Hours, Commando, Red Heat, okay, all kinds of great movies right there. And then, of course, he did like Apollo 13, Backdraft was on Hans Zimmer. So James Horner was a great composer. Unfortunately, we lost him way too early in life because he died in 2015 in a plane crash. Okay, he was like Tom Cruise. He loved aviation. He flew planes himself, and he died in a plane crash in 2015 there, unfortunately. So yeah, it's worth like searching for James Horner on YouTube, and just to get a taste of all the scores that he did for various movies. And you'll listen to to me, like if I ever want to relax or something like that, if I'm having a stressful day, I'll just throw like a random movie score from James Horner there and check that out. What was the one I was listening to the other day? I was like listening to one, probably like Apollo 13 or something like that. So a great no, it was what the fuck was it? I know I'm boring the shit out of you guys there. So, but anyway. So James Horner, check him out on YouTube. Great composer there, and he did the composition for Troy, the number 3 Brad Pitt movie in my list right there. Moving on to number 2. This, of course, is Fight Club. Fight Club. There was absolutely zero chance this was not going to be in the top 5 right there. Okay, you can't leave Tyler Durden. can't leave Tyler Durden out of the top 5 right there. I mean, this is one of the Mount Rushmore movies of Brad Pitt's right there. This Fight Club is going to be on there. Edward Norton, of course, in this here as well. Again, directed by David Fincher. Okay, because I think this is the second collaboration between Brad Pitt and David Fincher. And then later on, of course, they were Lindy Rick over here. Van, you're not supposed to talk about Fight Club. Yeah, well, I have a special exemption. All right, I filled out Form 223B, Form W7X, Form 237D, subset 5. So I got all the exemption paperwork filled out there. Lindy Rig 87. That's one of the cut scenes from Fight Club. Right after he says, "Don't talk about Fight Club," there's a scene that hit the cutting room floor where Tyler Durden goes, "But if you do want to talk about Fight Club, follow me to this room here, and I will give you some documents. If you want to talk about Fight Club, you just got to fill out all these forms right here." So there you go. So yeah, there you go. So that's I've got that on my side. That's why I can talk about Fight Club there. Lindy Rig 87. There you go. All right. So, but thank you for the contribution there, good sir. But yeah, so you got Tyler Durden, and he plays basically a character that is, I guess a bad influence on Edward Norton's character in this. And this is a movie that it's a controversial movie. It's a controversial movie. A lot of people read into this movie and give it a meaning and purpose, and I don't know what's the word. It's like a they say it's an allegory for the angst of the white man, and it like somehow encourages like white supremacy, like white privilege to go. If people, it basically encourages white guys to go around and cause damage because if they feel disenfranchised anyway, like that's what they say Se7en represents. Like it's an allegory for that. They basically just like project all kinds of crap on movies all the time, right? They did the same thing with Joker, right? The first Joker, you had the woke jokes, like projecting all kinds of crap on Joker. Like, well, Joker is it's gonna be an allegory. It's a message in a bottle of a white male angst and a bunch of incels and how you should go out there and kill people, if you're not getting what you want as a white dude. Like it is all this stuff. And so they projected all that shit onto Fight Club here and made it into something that it wasn't. And so it's nothing like that. It's just it's a very original, subversive plot to it. A movie where it's gritty and grimy, kind of like Se7en is. It's a gritty and grimy movie. It's just nasty and dirty, and just you can almost smell this movie. Okay, and maybe that's a soap. Maybe it's a soap that they make in this movie that I'm smelling there. But yeah, it's a great movie. You get to see some who's of actors in this. Young Jared Leto in this, and his character's, well, I should say more to the point, his character's face. Nothing good happens to his face in this movie. Okay, so there you go. Of course, got Meatloaf in here with his bitch tits in there, and you got Mrs. Tim Burton in here. You got what's her face? Got a good picture of her name in my mind. Anyway, she plays like the femme fatale of the movie in this here. So with Fight Club, and it's it's really hard to describe the plot to this. We got Edward Norton, who basically plays like a what do they call those? Like not a claims adjuster, what do they call that? Not a jurist or anything like that, but he works for an insurance company. There you go. He's like a pencil pusher in a cubicle for a insurance company, and so he hates his job, hates his life. He's sick of all the materialism. It just feels like he's trudging his way through life with no meaning, and so he starts going to all these meetings for different maladies that you can have, like Alcoholics Anonymous and Sexaholics Anonymous and all that stuff, and groups for for grieving widows and all that stuff, that kind of thing. So for people that are going through grief and all these meetings like that, right? Because he's faking like he's a member, like he's amongst these people right there, and it makes him feel so much better because he's pretty much like, well, at least I'm not these people, okay? At least I'm not Meatloaf with his bitch tits, okay? So that kind of thing, and so he gives a meeting, and so that. But he's on a plane and he meets Tyler Durden, and it's the very picture that you see right here. Meets Tyler Durden, and they strike up a friendship, and Tyler Durden he completes him, kind of like Jerry Maguire. He completes him there and leads him down the path to no good, and just enhances the plot and that kind of thing, and really just starts him down this path of this is grimy, gritty, malevolent path, that kind of thing. So, and it's worth checking out. I mean, Brad Pitt is masterful as Tyler Durden. He's very menacing, just doesn't give a fuck in this movie. And so yeah, fantastic movie to check out. Not one to watch with the kids. Okay, so it's pretty rough in this and that kind of thing. So Helena Bonham Carter, her name just popped into my head. Helena Bonham Carter is the femme fatale in Fight Club. Yes, but if you're not me, don't talk about Fight Club. Okay, just watch it. Don't talk about Fight Club. Just gotta watch it. Only I get to talk about Fight Club. Okay, because I've got the special paperwork right there. All right, before we get to number one, let me take another drinky over here, and again, imbibe. And again, if you don't feel like just listening to me talk here, get in the live chat. Let me know how you feel about my top 5 list here so far. Get in there and, Van, your top 5 is perfect. It's so wonderful. It's the perfect one. It's the exact movies I would have in the right sequence, the same sequence I would have. Or get in there and go, man, what the hell? Did you grow up underneath some power lines or something like that? What kind of crack are you smoking? Like, what the hell? What kind of list is this shit? All right, so there you go. Just let me have it. There you go, in the live chat if you want. So there you go. All right, I know that probably seems like me stalling for time here, but I am not, because we're going to get to numero uno right now. And that would be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. There, yes. We got Brad Pitt there playing Cliff Booth in this. He's Leonardo DiCaprio's stunt double in this. And I had to put this at number one because I'm pretty sure this is Brad Pitt's only Oscar win. Okay, so like we saw before, he was nominated for Moneyball. He's probably been nominated for other things as well, but he didn't win those. But he won for this movie you're looking at right now, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, as good old Cliff. And also, he was accompanied in this movie by another actor that I think should have been nominated and won an Academy Award, and that is his dog Brandy in this movie. So played by a very very likable pit bull, which I know that's a paradox to a lot of people. A likable pit bull? That makes no sense, but not all pit bulls are bad. Okay, and the pit bull in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, whose name in this movie is Brandy, fantastic co-star. Almost, well, I think she steals the show in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood right there, but she plays Cliff's loyal, fuzzy companion in this. But yeah, Cliff Booth is just he kicks ass and takes no name. Kicks ass, takes name. There we go. He kicks names and takes ass, as they say in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 there. But yeah, he's just like one of the guys that he doesn't give a fuck. He's just like very low key, very go with the flow, like just easy going, and it just flows through this movie right there. Okay, like Leo DiCaprio, his character in the movie is the neurotic one. He's the neurotic actor. Okay, and Cliff Booth has has to balance him out and that kind of thing, just to level him out, just like and let him know like life isn't as isn't the shit show, isn't as isn't as the cliff that you're thinking it is, right? All right, it's like it's not as highly dramatic as you're making it out to be, that kind of thing. So, man, I'm struggling. I'm on the struggle bus here as we get to the end of the show here. So, but yeah, Brad Pitt is great in this, and he's in the ending scene for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where Manson's Manson's crew, the murderous crew, shows up at Leo DiCaprio. What the hell is Leo DiCaprio's character's name? And I just got to check this out right there. I keep getting sick of saying Leonardo DiCaprio. What's up on? I'm going to see his name, and I'm only going to be kicking myself like, what's his damn name? What is Rick Dalton? There you go, Rick Dalton. Geez, now I really am kicking myself about the name right there. But yeah, so Rick Dalton, he shows up at the Charles Manson's minions. They show up at Rick Dalton's house at the end, and just that whole scene where Brad Pitt's in there and he's high as a kite. He's just drank that acid dipped blunt basically, and or acid dipped cigarette. Pardon me. And he's hanging out with Brandy at Rick Dalton's place, and Rick Dalton's wife is sleeping in the bedroom, and Rick Dalton is out in the pool memorizing lines, and Brad Pitt opens up, opens the door, and there's one of Charles Manson's minions there, and he's there to kill everybody in the house and that kind of thing, and it just that whole takedown of all the Manson minions in there with Brandy, cracking nuts, and Brad Pitt as Cliff Booth, just ending lives in this in this brutal, bloody, just savage way. And so it's just like the cherry on the top of the Cliff Booth sundae in this movie, because even before this scene in the movie, you're like, fucking Brad Pitt's character is badass in this movie, man. I'm rooting for this guy. This guy's kicking ass. He's like, you got the scene where he's beating up Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee's bragging about how he could kill everybody. He's a lethal weapon. He had to register his fists as lethal weapons. And, Cliff is like laughing at him, like, whatever, and that kind of thing. And so just like that scene, and just all kinds of great scenes in Once Upon a Time in America, or in Hollywood with Brad Pitt there. And so throughout the whole movie, Brad Pitt shows why he won the Best Supporting Actor Oscar for this. And then he's got great lines in this movie as well. And so then, like, right after he lights up the acid soaked cigarette there, and he's going to take Brandy for a walk. And right after he lights it up, it's like, and here we go, as he starts off on his walk. And just the way he says it, I'm not doing it justice, but just the way he says it, and what of Cliff throughout this movie, just hilarious, and just perfect timing with this. And so Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, again, that's another collaboration between Brad Pitt and Quentin Tarantino after they had collaborated in Inglourious Bastards. And so we'll see if Brad Pitt makes Quentin Tarantino's next and supposedly final movie, because Quentin Tarantino says his next movie is his final movie. He's going to make 10 movies total and just call it quits there. And I think his next movie, I think it's still about a movie critic or something like that. It's supposed to be like a movie critic is supposed to be the main character of Tarantino's next movie. So we'll see if Brad Pitt makes the movie or not. So we'll see. I don't know. So who knows? But yeah, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is my numero uno Brad Pitt movie right there. So you definitely got to check out this movie if you haven't already. For the at the very least, it's worth checking out just for a very cool retro look back at like the late 60s Hollywood, which unfortunately right now is on fire. Okay, so here in the year of our Lord 2025, Hollywood's on fire, but not in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood there. So all right, so yeah, that was my top 5 Brad Pitt movies. All right, so we're getting ready to wrap up this biatch of an episode there. But not before I ask you guys to, go ahead and follow me if you would. All right, go ahead and follow me on X and Gab and Instagram and Facebook, all under the call sign at Movies Merica. No, not Maverick, not Iceman, not Goose. Movies Merica. All right, so check me out there on all those platforms. And then if you let me know, if you DM me on X, and again, my X account is under at Movies Merica. If you DM me and let me know, hey Van, I followed you on this platform and that platform and that platform, well, I will follow you back, okay? Because hey, you did me a solid, I'm going to do you a solid back there. All right, so and feel free to go ahead and just forward the links to my pages to whoever you feel even remotely suspect is into movies and it would be into this kind of stuff, me reviewing old and new movies, mostly new movies. Check it out. Maybe you got a movie geek in your family or your little brother's a movie geek. Let them know. Send the link to my page there so they can check out all my new episodes and my past episodes, because I guarantee you look at all my numerous episodes, you're going to see a movie that you've been thinking about watching and have never seen before, and you're looking for a little perspective on that movie to inform you whether or not you should watch it. And I've got all kinds of spoiler-free episodes there that aren't terribly long. You can speed through the episode and see like, oh, yeah, Van thinks this is dog shit, or hey, Van thinks this is definitely a movie I should go see. You could very quickly surmise what I think about movies there. So yeah, check out all my past episodes there as well. All right, the movie for next week is going to be Den of Thieves 2 Pantera. Okay, so the sequel to the 2018 Gerard Butler, O'Shea Jackson, movie that came out. Who else was in that? Who else was in that fucker? That Pablo Schreiber in there, but he's obviously not in the second one there. So all kinds of was 50 Cent was in the first one as well. So yeah, Den of Thieves 2 Pantera will be the movie for next week. And so check out my spoiler-free review of that coming out this Sunday afternoon at 4 Eastern and 1 Pacific. Okay, so this Sunday afternoon. Okay, and then next week's episode of Movies Merica Spoiler Warning will be a spoiler-heavy edition of the show, all about, guess what? Den of Thieves 2, Pantera. Okay, so and no, it's not about the Texas heavy metal band. Okay, we're not going to be talking about Dimebag Darrell or anything like that. So maybe we'll play some Pantera music if I feel like getting a content creation warning on YouTube if I do that. So I'm not going to play any Pantera. Okay, so yeah, the Cowboys from Hell, you'll have to listen to them on your own time there. So that's the movie for next week. So, all right, let me check here and make sure I got everything, all my ducks in a row here as we finish this biatch up right here. All right, let me introduce you to some web pages that you should definitely check out and then save as bookmarks if you haven't, or save as favorites if you haven't already. And the first one is solo.to/moviesmerica. And that's this page that you should go to because it's got all my links, all the links to everything Movies Merica, my Facebook page, my Letterboxd page, my Critic List page, X page, all my Movies Merica pages, all at one location, solo.to/moviesmerica. Save it as a favorite or a bookmark. And then we got www.moviesmerica.com. That's where you would go if you want to check out the podcast versions of my spoiler-free reviews that come out every Sunday afternoon there. I don't know if you want to go there or listen to the podcast-only versions of my shows because I'll be honest with you, I procrastinate getting those out there. And so the best way to watch them, when you want to on demand is just check out my Movies Merica episodes on YouTube and Rumble and X, okay? Because the episodes are at my X page at Movies Merica on X right there. So check them out there. Right, because the podcast versions, I procrastinate getting those out there. Now, if you do have to check out the podcast versions of the spoiler-free reviews, again, they're at moviesmerica.com, but they're also on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, everywhere you would imagine has podcasts there, okay? And then, like I've implied already, I'm on social media on X and Instagram and Gab and Facebook and all kinds of places, all under the handle of @MoviesMerica. Now, if you happen to see like multiple Movies America accounts on any of these platforms, mine, of course, is the one with the shitload of content, okay? You might see another Movies America profile that's got barely anything on it. Obviously, that's not me, okay? So get to the right Movies America, people. There you go. And then we have tdpn.locals.com. And that is, again, our Till Death Podcast Network website. Definitely check that out. And then we have our merch store. Yes, check out that merch store link in the description right there. That's the easiest way to get to it and get yourself some Movies America merch, everybody. And then we have solo.to/Till Death Pod Network. And that's where you would go for all the links to everything Till Death Podcast Network. Okay, that would include everything Movies America in that as well. And we got solo.to/Till Death Studios. Now, the reason you would want to go there is if you're a content creator like me or like some fellas in the live chat, Lindy Rigg and I'm Sean Cav, they're Beyond Formal. They're content creators too. And so if you're a content creator and you create shows like the one you're watching right now, and you think like just the way your show looks is very boring, well, just go to solo.to/Till Death Studios, and my man Ian will hook you up with cool shit. All right. Remember that movie military moment intro and outro that I have? Well, Ian did that. Or like you see the overlay up at the very top. Ian did that as well. The background, all that stuff. And he can do that for you too. Okay. But you got to reach out to him there and let his skills that pay the bills work for you. All right. And then next we have solo.to/I'm Sean Cav. That's where you would go to have a one-stop shop for all the links that have to do with I'm Sean Cav. You see him on in the live chat earlier there. And he does a great show called Sipping with Sean or Sean Cav Live there as a X space every Friday afternoon, I believe. He's got a number of things out there. And so a great place to go to see all the things that he's got on his plate and got there available out there for you to enjoy is going to solo.to/I'm Sean Cav. Get there and save it as a bookmark or a favorite right there, okay? And then we have solo.to/The Whiskey Capitalist, and that's the one-stop shop for all the links that have to do with that wild and wacky show, The Whiskey Capitalist Podcast, that you guys watch every Monday and Wednesday night and every other Tuesday night right there with the boys as they go over, the latest topics of the day and funnies and all that stuff. So, and they just do it with their unique and enticing humor, and they bust each other's balls on stuff. It's a great show, so check that out. So check out that website right there and save it as a bookmark or favorite there as well. And last but certainly not least, we have solo.to/Till Death Podcast, and that's the one-stop shop for all the links that have to do with the show that started it all on the Till Death Podcast Network, the Till Death Podcast, all right? It's the flagship show. And that is a show that comes on every other Saturday afternoon with my brother, man, Ian, and his lovely bride, Jen. And the premise of that show is they just present the hot, sizzling, hot button topics of the day and, funnies, and they do all kinds of other topics, just other subject matter in there. And they do it all marinated in their marital mirth, okay? I know that sounded gross the way I put it, but it's very enjoyable, okay? So, and of course, as most husbands and wives do, they bust each other's chops and all that stuff, and you get to enjoy it and laugh at them and go, I'm glad me and my wife or me and my husband never do that. Oh, wait, we do that too. Yeah, anyway. All right, so there you go. So check out that solo.to/Till Death Podcast page to get all the links to that show. It's a good way to know when the show's gonna come on there. So do it to it right there. All right. So let's wrap up this show. But real quick, I just want to thank you guys all for checking out the show here tonight. My sincere thanks to you, especially the ones that are in the live chat, chatting it up, enhancing the show and all of that. But go ahead and send the link to this episode or the link to all, to my social media page, my X page, all that, to anybody else. Feel free to be very generous. Okay. Get very grabby with all my links and then just spread them to the world. Okay, you have my permission. That is for sure. And again, keep everybody out in LA with the wildfires in your thoughts and prayers and whatnot. Hopefully that ends sooner rather than later right there. Okay. All right. But with that, everybody, get out there, people. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves. See ya.
Hey, everybody! Hey, don't leave yet, okay? I got the police after me, and I got just enough time to ask you to like this video and subscribe to this channel if you would. I'm being handcuffs here pretty soon, anytime, okay? I got just enough time to ask you to also like these or watch these videos and like them as well, okay? All right? Hey, thanks for watching this video and the Till Death Podcast Network. I gotta go.